Good, y'all. Today we about to talk about how to stop being so sensitive. Being sensitive is you have to identify your triggers and then realizing why you act this way. What's your self-esteem? Why can't you actually take, maybe it might be criticism, or maybe it might be somebody just trying to judge you for this thing. I had to realize in my life that I had to stop being so sensitive, and the reason why was because people like loved ones, the only real people that can make me sensitive is people I care about or I love. I was always on the defensive side and not understanding that these people were actually trying to care for me. I always used to take things as disrespect because sometimes I just didn't want to be in the wrong. I didn't want to be like, all right, well, this person isn't coming from a good place. They're just judging me off of things, because sometimes, you know, since I had to work everything myself, I've always been so like just with me that I never had to take criticism from other people. And if I did, I would either shut them down or things like that. Don't take it as disrespect sometimes. Take it as maybe this person wants to help you. Maybe they see something that you can't see, because you can't see yourself you can only see yourself from a mirror. You can't see somebody else's perspective. Maybe people just want to help you out instead of taking everything for judgment or things like that. So dealing with a relationship standpoint, I was sensitive in my relationship because, mind you, I actually loved and cared for the girl. So I was sensitive and thinking like, dang, like why is she just always coming at me instead of let's build in this situation and help me. I took everything as disrespectful, but I didn't know how to be vulnerable. I never understood how to be vulnerable. I wanted to be vulnerable, but I didn't know if, you know, maybe this would be used against me after, or maybe this might be used against me being vulnerable. I think as men, we just take everything as like, sometimes being vulnerable is gonna hurt you. So then you become sensitive, like, dang, like should I do it? Should I do it? And then you overthink and you're like, dang, nah, let me not do it. And it hurts sometimes, because sometimes when we're trying to help me, I was always on defensive mode, like I said before. And since that, I lost the person because of my actions. And then you got to understand this, everything is your fault. By being sensitive, maybe there's certain trigger or traumas that you've had in the past, maybe when you were growing up, or the little things always get to you, not the big things, right? So I learned that I need to kill my ego by being sensitive, understanding, let's do a deep dive and deep analysis and say, why do I act this way? Why do you act this way? Was it because of somebody may have hurt you in your past? Maybe it doesn't have to be a person. Maybe it could be, you know, a thing you've seen, maybe a perspective you've seen, or maybe online, or maybe a social media, something that just made you kind of, I think being sensitive sometimes is an insecurity. And it's like understanding what triggers do you have and why. By being sensitive with your girl, for example, I used to take everything as disrespectful, like I said, but I felt like when I was being sensitive and not just understanding, letting her vent and stuff like that, and just listening to things she said, not listening what she said, but how did this make me react? For example, and I wasn't listening to what you were saying, I was just looking at the nitpick, just picking out what I wanted to hear. And by doing that, it made her not feel like it was a safe space by having that situation in my relationship. And, you know, the disagreements turn into bigger things than they wanted to. Like I said, just let people vent, let people get their point across why this situation, maybe they're just trying to help you, like I said before, turns into silence, because then people like, why are you taking everything sensitive? Why are you taking everything so, you know, sensitive? Why are you so sensitive to this situation? Why can't you just understand where I'm coming from and help me help you understand where I'm coming from? You know, like understand that sometimes you're not the problem, but how can I help you out to figure out what the solution is with our situation? Don't take everything as disrespectful. By doing this, once you take everything so sensitively, it's like I don't even feel comfortable even sharing anything with you. So then after that, it becomes silent. You know, sometimes they bring up things so that you can create a solution and help this, but you shut them down because now they feel like women just want to be heard, you know? So sometimes you don't understand that sometimes you're just shooting them down instead of actually helping them out and getting to the point. And by doing this, they just go quiet. I had to realize in my relationship too, I know it's not just about relationships, but just about, this is my story, then we'll get to the points. But I saw, like, after the situation, I was like, dang, like all she wanted to do was just get her point across. And by being quiet, it was easier for her to just be quiet instead of getting her point across. So now we're going to talk about how to get over being sensitive. So I would suggest to you, identify your triggers. Notice the situations and how it made you feel, or why are you defensive in this situation. Next one, challenge negative thoughts. Sometimes you're your biggest critic. We are our biggest critic in this world. A lot of people say, oh, this might have affected you. No. How you reacted, or how you interpreted what the person or the comment said to you, that's why you were sensitive. It wasn't that the person, mind you can't even see the person that made the comment. It's just that your interpretation of what they were saying, or you took it too literal and you're your biggest critic and you take everything to heart. That's why it affected you. You just gotta replace negative thoughts. Mind you, we are our biggest critic, like I said, and overthinking also creates that too. Like I told you guys before, I used to be a big overthinker, and this really killed a lot of relationships because I just like shot down everybody. I didn't want to have anybody by my side. I didn't want to hear certain things, because why should I feel like you're just trying to hurt me in this situation? Third, you got to build emotional boundaries. This goes for people and you. You got to remind yourself, other people's opinions of me aren't my reality. It's just what they are having, right? Maybe they can see stuff in you, like I said before. Maybe they can see stuff in you that you can't see yourself. Strengthen your self-esteem. Get to know you better so you can identify what the top 3 things I just said before. What causes you to be sensitive? Why do you act in such way? You know. So list your strengths, or write everything down. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Maybe in a relationship, I believe that your partner's strengths are going to be your weaknesses. Her weaknesses are going to be your strengths. So that's why we are going to be compatible, and why people are so sensitive in situations in life. View criticism as feedback, not a personal attack. You know, like I said before, don't take everything to the heart, because when you do that, you've already made up a solution and a made up idea. Just, all right, this is how I'm gonna look at it. I'm not even gonna let you speak no more, because I already heard what you had to say. I just made my solution off of what you already said. I'm not about to let you keep talking, because there's no point. You already made your solution, instead of hearing what people have to say. Learn to surround yourself with supportive people. Have people you could talk to. Maybe ask God, what are you sensitive? Show you, reveal to you that what makes you sensitive. Why are you this way? Maybe you might say you're just a sensitive, right? You take everything to heart. But when I try to tell you something and I send people and you don't listen to me, I'm gonna send people just to remind you, because I can't get your attention. So I'm gonna give somebody that you love, and you give them people that you give your attention to, and I'm gonna show you what I believe and that you suffer from, because people are mirrors of you. If you're sensitive, somebody that you are entertaining or relationship wise, they're gonna be sensitive as well, because you guys go back and forth. But yeah, I would just say how to stop being sensitive is just understand life is so short. You don't know how long you have with the person. You don't know how long somebody might be, right? For example, from my parents or whatever, the reason why I know I'm sensitive with my parents is because they know me so well. And I feel like sometimes parents are the best rage baiters, you know what I'm saying? And when you have spent so much time with somebody, all the flaws, that mask that you had, it goes off. There's no point of you faking anything. You can't no more, because they see right through you, because they've spent so much time to get to know you, and your parents know so much about you. That's why you're sensitive in certain situations.